everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We're so excited today. I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and I'm here with two guests to start our holiday season coverage. This is week one. Yes, it is before Halloween, but we are still here to talk about the first weekend of Countdown to Christmas and Miracles of Christmas coverage on Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. We have Lianna and Magen from Hunks of Hallmark on Instagram here to talk about these two movies. And thank you so much, ladies, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. We always have fun.
Yes.
Thanks. So happy to be here.
Yeah, we've had you on. I haven't had you on since we had you on at summer, right? Is our last time?
Yeah. I think it was the summer.
Yeah. Talked about the dubious countdown to summer category. They're the very vague category. but yeah, that was a lot of fun. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about two Christmas movies. Most of our weekly recaps during the Christmas season will probably have 4 movies, but because this is just the start, we only have 2. So we're going to go into a little more detail in these 2 movies than maybe we might other weeks, but it's going to be fun. And so we're going to start with the very first movie that they aired. We're going to talk about Merry Christmas Match. This is on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. And so this movie stars Ashley Newbrow and Kyle Dean Massey, and as your sort of lead characters. And it's Corey, who works in her mom's antique shop, puts on a Christmas pageant in honor of her late father. When a man named Ryder visits her store, she wonders if she should have left town to follow her dream of becoming a theater director. So let's talk, both of you. What were your overall thoughts about this movie? What about you, Lianna?
I enjoyed the movie. At first I thought this might be a little much, but as I was watching it more and more, I liked it a lot more. And, Kyle is easy on the eyes as well, so that's always nice. Mm-hmm. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Cool. What about you, Magen?
I liked the movie too. I thought I watched it twice. So the first time I watched it, I felt like it started off slow. And so that was kind of off for me. But then when I watched it the second time, the pace jumped faster for some reason. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. It was sweet.
Yeah, so this movie, I don't understand why they picked it to start off the season. I felt like this movie was not up to a Hallmark level as far as production and acting and even writing. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I hated it. It was fine to watch, but there were a lot of weird stuff and a lot of strange, I don't know. I just it wasn't my favorite, but I don't know. There was some odd choices that they made, I thought, in the movie. First of all, I want to say, if you're going to have 2 long songs in your movie, why on earth do you not have Kyle Dean Massey, Broadway singer, sing the songs? Find a way. Because, and I don't know, there was just a lot of weird choices like that I was kind of like, what? So we're going to break it down. But basically, you have Ashley Newbrow's character. She works at this antique store. And her mom, the summary isn't really right. Her mom's like, why are you staying here? Go. She's doing it because she feels this sense of guilt for her dad, that she needs to keep the shop alive. And her mom doesn't even feel that guilt. And the thing I think that was weird is it wasn't just the store, because we've seen the Save the Store a million times, but she had so many things. I swear it was there was the theater, and there was the community center, and there was the pageant, and there was, I don't know, I just felt like the list was so long of all the stuff.
It was definitely excessive.
Yeah, the stuff that her dad, that she was trying to in memory of her dad. And so that was kind of weird. And so, yeah, Kyle Dean Massey shows up and he's like, Mr. LA guy.
Right.
And so, like, real estate tycoon. And they have this meet cute where he wants to buy this clock from her. And so, how did you feel about their chemistry between them? What do you think?
Well, first of all, the meeting with Ryder and Corey's mom was very cringy for me. I was just uncomfortable during that whole moment.
It was weird. It really was.
Yeah, it was like, please hurry up. And as far as their chemistry, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. I think they really wanted it to be there, but yeah. I didn't really feel it as much.
Yeah, and I always thought, well, Ryder first comes in and he's kind of, you know, not real, like kind of being a jerk, snooty and stuff. And then like literally 2 days later, he's like in love. And yeah. I thought they were going to use that storyline of like him being like kind of snooty and then him kind of turning it around and then them coming together. So I thought that turnaround of him liking her happened like too quickly, or like it just sounded like you were too cool for her and now you adore her. So that was weird. But then I already thought like the beginning was like dragged out. So I don't know where they would put it in.
Yeah, it was weird. Like we were expected as viewers to accept that they were instantly in love with each other. Right. And yet it didn't even seem like they liked each other. It kept flipping back and forth a lot, I felt like.
Yeah, it was like, sell me the clock or don't. And then it was like, I love you right after.
Yeah. It was interesting. And so, and her friend, Jillian, she is an actress, and she left the small town. And how far away is the small town supposed to be from LA?
Okay. Okay, thank you that you brought this up, because they kept mentioning Big Bear, like, oh, the fancy resort in Big Bear, or just like the town over. Big Bear is only like 2 hours from LA. It's really not that far.
Yeah.
We live in LA. We know this.
So she does all of the festivals. She does all of the pageant, everything. And she tells Jillian that I hate this guy Ryder. He's the worst. And Jillian says, I think he likes you. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of like, what?
Oh.
Why would you say that? I don't understand. And is Jillian dating Ryder's friend, that other guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Baby.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she know? Like, if they have this mutual connection, they were acting like they'd never seen each other before or known anything about each other.
I think they just started dating in the beginning of the movie. I think it was still new.
Yeah, definitely the new boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've written down, boy, they're both getting Twitter pated really easily. They've both fallen in love very easily. And so I know that fashion is very subjective. I thought that red dress that she was wearing, that with like the peasant sleeves and the kind of, it needed a corset to be that kind of a dress. It was, in my opinion, one of the ugliest dresses I've ever seen. I thought it was so unflattering to this beautiful actress, this woman, Ashley Newbrow. And I just couldn't understand. Like, why on earth would you pick this hideous dress? I don't know. Did you guys, maybe it's a new fashion that I'm not, I'm an old fogey or something, but did you like the dress? That red dress?
It wasn't my favorite. I'm thinking someone just donated it to the antique store.
like really, I think if you are going to wear, it looked like something you'd wear at medieval times, but if you are going to wear something like that, you need like a corset to make
to tighten it up.
To make you wear like the beer wedge, you know what I'm saying? In medieval times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was so ugly. I just hated it. So I felt like, again, we kind of talked about this, but I felt like she was pretty rude to him for supposedly being like Twitter pated with him, but that he's just this greedy rich guy, and how dare he? And I was just kind of like, okay, that's a weird way to treat a human. What is going on? And the movie had a weird depiction of wealthy people in general. Because you have that winter soiree, whatever, later on.
Oh, right. Yeah. Very bougie.
Yeah, where there's just like the sled with people putting in literal cash into the sled. And I'm like, it seems like I could like blow away. It just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. And
it is windy in California around that time, so I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah. Well, but then you have like this kind of weird portrayal, because he's supposed to be a bad man of business, kind of, but he never really is. And so it just makes her look like kind of a jerk. And
yeah.
And then his mom is supposed to be kind of the worst and not good, but then she offers her job and is like, nice. So I don't know. It was confusing to me what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I agree with that, because they gave off the vibes that him and his family are going to be these snobby rich people in California, but turns out like everybody's really nice. His mom is really nice. His dad is really nice. He's super nice too. It was very confusing.
Yeah, they were all welcoming. They're like, Corey, the Corey.
Yes. Like,
yeah.
Come on over. Do you need a job? Here's one.
Right.
Take it.
That's what I was thinking. What's happening? And also, like I said, you can't have a million things that have super sentimental value. Like, she was getting upset about the winter musical. There's the pageant. There's the antique store. There's the, like, you can't do that. Like, you have to pick one.
She was just a lot to handle.
It was a lot, yeah. And so let's get back to the music a little bit. Not only do you have a Broadway level talent, Kyle Dean Massey, that could be singing, and this girl tried. I'm not going to be mean. She tried to sing, but here's the word I want to say to all Christmas movie makers. And I said this last year. I'm going to repeat it again in hopes that someone will listen. Don't have your singer sing "O Holy Night." Don't do it. It's a really hard song. It's a beautiful song, but it's really hard. And I know these starlets want to want to have the diva song. But even the divas struggle singing "O Holy Night." It's true. I mean, like Mariah Carey and Diana Ross and Whitney Houston and people like that, they have sung this song badly. And "O Holy Night" is really hard. It goes a whole octave. So you have to be able to sing good low, and you have to be able to sing good high, and you have to be able to sing good in general. Whereas if you had just sung the first Noel, that's an easy song, and it sounds nice.
Right.
Just that's it. And that's my soapbox for this episode of the podcast.
Thank you for having us on your TED Talk.
Yes, thank you. I really and so and I just thought it was a weird plot thing. She's not is Jillian a singer? I thought she was an actress.
No, she was an actress, and it really felt like she was a soap opera actress at best.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Which is fine as well, but I feel like they made her out to be like this really big star in California, but it really wasn't. Like it just, I got soap opera vibes, which is not bad. per se, but yeah, she's not a singer.
No, it was a weird choice to me. And then we have Ryder says to her, I see you and I just want to help you. And yet he's still sort of portrayed as sort of the bad man of business. And then they have a near kiss.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Mindy. Oh my gosh, Mindy. At that moment, she was the worst.
Her timing was impeccable.
Yeah. Well, also,
she wouldn't stop touching his shoulder.
She really was pretty grabby. Like,
she was the Patrice of this movie.
She was.
Yeah. Oh, Patrice.
That's so funny. Well, and also, did you notice that nobody's ever allowed to be alone in this movie? Ever. Everybody has an entourage, of a worshipful entourage, whether it's the guy at the helping out at the store, Mindy, her, you have Victoria, you have his mom, you have her mom, you have Lillian.
No one's allowed to be alone.
No, because that's not Christmassy, I guess. You have to have an entourage, and
I guess.
And they have this little snowball fight, and he says our stars crossed this weekend.
Like, was that a Romeo and Juliet reference or something? Are they star-crossed lovers?
When I saw that the first time, I was like, oh, like I enjoyed that line. Or my shooting star or whatever he said crossed.
Yeah.
And I was all like, all right.
Yeah.
You pulled me in.
I think this movie is probably best appreciated as a kind of campy soap opera. But then I wish they kind of leaned into that even more and just been a little more over the top with it. But yeah, right. Because it is kind of melodramatic at times. And I feel like Hallmark has been trying to avoid some of this like really cheesy love at first sight kind of thing. You don't see as much anymore. Mm-hmm. But this one kind of leaned into that. And he says, come to the city with me. Come to the city. It's the city of dreams. And she doesn't want to go into the city. As any good Hallmark heroine would not want to go into the city. Never.
City bad.
City bad. So she's scared to go into the city for a visit. And Jillian says, you are the bravest person I know. And you will never fail me. And so she's scared, and she says that Jillian says you got to go into the city to see what this relationship is, and I'm just kind of like, what? I'm just so confused. You got to use a phrase from the next movie. You got kind of eye contact-y towards each other, and
it's weird. Like they didn't even give each other like their phone numbers to even keep in contact. Like, you know, even though you think you're that far away, I mean, you guys could like text each other, right? Something.
Yeah. And it was just kind of accepted that, okay, we're in love with each other, but they didn't even have, like, that's why I'm saying they should have leaned into the soap opera elements and been really swoon worthy about each other and be like, I love you, you know, or whatever, like made it really over the top. And then that would have been more fun, I think, than this, like, we're not going to say it a little bit. I don't know. It was weird. It was just a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
Felt like we missed scenes. There were scenes missing.
Yeah.
It was just rushed.
It was the reindeer talk.
Oh, God, the reindeer talk.
Because once she talked about the reindeer, he was like, all right, I'm in.
She's the one.
She's the one.
She knows all of Santa's reindeers are female.
Yeah, he gives her this reindeer necklace, and evidently that is the key to her heart.
Yeah, she got triggered.
She got triggered. She wore it all the time. That was it. Game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be pretty excited, I guess, if I got a reindeer necklace from Kyle Dean Massey, but I don't know. I mean, it was just I hadn't heard her mention reindeers before that point, so he really nailed it as far as the gift.
Yeah, he knew. He was a great listener.
Yeah, he was. And so then there's this weird photo shoot with Jillian. Do we know how far in advance this is of Christmas? Is this a week or 2 weeks or something like that? Because it was.
I feel like it was a little like 3 weeks maybe, because they were practicing the pageant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I can't tell.
So,
Yeah.
So this photo shoot, because it wasn't. She's not modeling a product or anything like that. She was just like, it was just a weird photo shoot. I was confused.
Right. It was a filler scene.
I know, but I expect more from my weird random LA supporting character photo shoot. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, yeah, it was weird.
Anyway, so yeah, the photo shoot was weird, and then there's the Christmas soiree we talked about, and it just made me laugh. Like I said, I was a little bored watching this movie, and so I was texting. I was like, I was just like, it's like a weird, strange version of the whole party scene in La La Land. I was like, why aren't they jumping into the pool? I don't know. I'm very confused. I expect to see Ryan Gosling there doing like 80s cover songs. But so yeah, there's a whole sleigh full of cash and checks. And so she says, thank you for the necklace. And this is where we find out the comet is Santa's most special reindeer. So did you know that about Comet?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know either.
We're learning.
I learned a lot about reindeer during this movie.
I know. That Comet, the reason why he's special is because he knows the star system best. That's why they named him Comet. So evidently as a young reindeer, he already, when they were naming him, they already knew that. So that's pretty good of Santa. So, and then this costume party. So then, like, is it the next day that's the costume party? Or is that part of the... Yeah. I thought it was the next day.
Fundraising.
Yeah, I think it's the next day.
That's when she gets the job offer. And she says to his mom, I can't just take a job in the city.
So weird.
Hello.
Like what you want to do.
I know. It was funny to me. And so you get a lot of flirting between the two of them. And he's also dressed as Rudolph at one point, which is pretty nice. I did like her.
Oh, yeah, onesie.
Yeah.
He knows how to get to her heart.
I mean, obviously, it does make sense because if she was so excited about the necklace, dressing up as a reindeer, it's going to be really
He knows
good.
exactly what she likes.
That's right. And and so they're pretty flirty. I did love her. I actually loved her little outfit with like the pillbox hat and it was super really cute. That was really cute. And so Victoria, that she says that we're going to. He says, we're going to wine country to see a property. And he finally gets her phone number. He finally gets Ashley's character's phone number. I can't remember her name. Ashley's phone number. And I'm like, this is
Corey.
Corey. That's right. You've already been swearing on the stars and giving her expensive necklaces and getting your mom to give her a job. Why have you not gotten her phone number sooner? What is going on here? I don't know. It was funny.
I know.
But you don't typically see stuff like that in Hallmark movies. Like giving numbers out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they automatically have it.
Yeah.
It's already in their phone.
Yeah. And so he gets her number, and she gives him one of her dad's old watches. And and she tells him, if you possess something unique, it shouldn't collect dust, which is what he had said to her about the clock at the beginning of the movie. So that was cute. I liked that. That was nice.
Yes.
And then Victoria storms in, and then basically it's like, oh, we're going to wine country to look at this house, and then she gets very upset. Ashley gets very upset, and she thinks that he's secretly cheating on her, which is so ridiculous. But again, I felt like they should have leaned into the melodrama even more. Like it was, I don't know, been even more soapy. But yeah, she's crying. She's very upset when literally a 5-minute conversation would clear this whole thing up.
Yeah.
It's not something to get upset over. And so that was frustrating. She storms out, and then he, in return, to try to make up, he buys like tons of stuff from her antique store, and he's trying to fix the clock. And he says, the only place where time has stopped is here in this clock. And then he finally fixes the clock. So
what a line.
Yeah. And so it was pretty exciting. And so then her mom tells her that her dad had another girlfriend before before they met, and that basically says that, you know, things had to, like, there had to be a timing for everything. And they have this pageant, and where we get more singing, and it was quite the show, this little pageant. It was quite the thing. So, and then she announced at the beginning of the at the pageant, this is going to appear last year, that she's going to go move to the city, which I was also confused by, because she just stormed out. What is happening? And I'm like, and it was surprising, because I like, she's moving to the city? What is happening here in this Hallmark movie? Like, this is a very weird ending.
It was an opposite. Opposite. She's going to the big city.
Yeah. So she's leaving the small town. Oh.
Yeah. I kind of liked that. I kind of liked how it was different than other movies.
Yeah.
But instead, she is going to go to the big city and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And
I kind of liked it too. So then he fixes the clock. So that's very exciting. And Jillian sings again. Some random song. I was like, okay. And then they see each other, and she says, you're the only place you're the only place I want to spend Christmases with. And then we get our ending.
But it was kind of abrupt, the ending.
Yeah, it was like, I guess, Christmas here and a lifetime with you. And I thought, whoa, girl.
Yeah, and like, they haven't even been on a date.
Yeah, just like a hot chocolate walk.
Yeah, they just got hot chocolate. And been to a party.
Hot chocolate?
Yeah, right. Yeah, what was in the hot chocolate? I don't know. But
it was definitely love potion, because they fell in love that fast.
Maybe it was a hot toddy.
I mean, if he could fall in love with her in that hideous dress, then it probably is true love, I think.
Preach.
I don't know. It was just a weird movie. I guess I'm sounding way harsher on it than when I was watching it. I was just like, it's fine. Like, I didn't hate it, but it is definitely one of my lowers of the year, just because I just didn't think it was very well made. I didn't think it was very well written. I didn't think that the acting was great. I thought Ashley and Kyle were fine with what they were given, but I thought most of the other acting was felt kind of amateurish to me. And I don't know. I just didn't think it was up to my normal Hallmark standards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how many crowns would you give this?
I guess I could give it 3 crowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give it 3.25. But I still, like, it ended so abruptly. Like, I kind of wanted, like, kind of a sequel to see where it goes, because I still feel like there's some story there to tell.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I'm open to that if it happens.
Yeah.
Because, he'll be in LA.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was entertained.
So yeah, I'm going to give it 2 crowns. Just because I just didn't think it was up to the normal standards. I'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. They are a really cool subscription service called Glamour Jewelry Box that you can subscribe to, and you can get $5 off your first month subscription right now at glamourjewelrybox.com. Use the code Hallmarkies to get a discount, which is really fun. And basically, this subscription service, they help you with finding that perfect piece to finish off. It's kind of like the deer necklace that's just the right thing in Merry Christmas Match. It's the thing that sometimes the right necklace can be just the ticket. And so every month, the Glamour Jewelry Box, they send you a bracelet, a necklace, and a pair of earrings. And you get to keep all 3. And it's affordable, and they're well made and really pretty. And so it's a really fun, it would make a great gift for a person in your life for this holiday season. So check out Glamour Jewelry Box. And right now you can get $5 off your first month subscription, glamourjewelrybox.com. Use code Hallmarkies. Talk about the Hallmark Countdown to Christmas film. So this was the Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. And this was based on the book by Jenny Hale. And I got to interview Jenny Hale, which aired on Saturday. So if you haven't listened to that interview, definitely check it out. The book is slightly different, but this one stars Jill Wagner and Matthew Davis in his Hallmark debut. Were you so excited to have Warner?
Oh my God, Warner!
Yeah, are you excited to welcome him into the Hallmark family?
You made it out of Yale.
I did. Harvard.
Or Harvard.
Yeah.
Harvard. Oh. My bad.
Of course, Matthew Davis was in Legally Blonde, and he was the kind of the villain in that film. And so it was fun to see him in a Hallmark movie. And of course, Joe Wagner, we love. And this movie is single mom Abby takes a leap of faith to pursue her passion for interior design. When she gets hired to decorate the estate of local businessman Nick, Abby must complete the job by Christmas Eve. With the holidays fast approaching, Abby must figure out how to break down the wall between her and Nick, as this could be the opportunity that jumpstarts her career. So, Lianna, start with you. What was your overall thoughts about this movie?
I was okay with it. I enjoyed it overall as well as the other movie. But it was cute.
Yeah. What about you, Megan?
I like the movie too. I think what bothered me the most is that I couldn't separate
Warner.
Oh no.
Nick, so I'm all like, and it's been over 15 years, and I don't know why. I'm all like, this guy is such a jerk. Don't talk to him. So that was like in the back of my mind. But I mean, of course, ultimately, I did enjoy the movie. Very Christmassy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really sweet and had a lot of really good things about it. I think that it is true that it should be called Christmas Wishes and Eye Contacty Moments. Not
Lots of
Mistletoe Kisses.
Moments.
Because, yes, there was no Mistletoe Kisses throughout the whole film.
No, just
very disappointing.
Yeah, just the eye contact. And the son talked about mistletoe, and that was it, I think.
Yeah. There was the one time where they're standing under mistletoe, but then they broke the oath of the mistletoe and didn't kiss, which is very disappointing.
Yes, shame on them. They needed to be kicked out of the store.
I know, you should at least kiss her on the cheek. Come on. It's like, be a man.
Not even a pat on the back.
No, nothing. That was very, but I guess in the movie's defense, Hallmark titles don't matter at all.
Very true.
I mean, there are some that there's literally nothing about the title at all. Like, I remember when they had the movie with Bobby Campo, where they ended up calling it Sharing Christmas, about him being the advisor coming in the mom and pop store. And it was originally called The Christmas Shop. And that makes sense because it's literally about a Christmas shop. And then they change it to be called Sharing Christmas. I'm like, what? There's nothing sharing. There's no sharing happening.
Not even a cookie.
No. Like, why did they call it that? I have no idea. She starts out the movie, she's kind of hesitant to take this big job because she's really concerned about spending time with her son. And what did you guys think of that dynamic, about how worried she was about balancing being a mom versus taking on this new job?
I mean, I understand how she wanted to be with her son, but I think she was ready to start this new project. I mean, it was with a billionaire, so I think she shouldn't have even thought twice about it. She should have gone with it.
Yeah, because
which she did.
I think that she was maybe hiding a little bit behind that because she was scared. But
right,
again, mom guilt is something fierce, and it can be really bad. And so, because she was worried about stuff throughout the movie that I was just kind of like, does your kid, is it really that important to go to every rehearsal of the play when you have this major project and your dad is going to be there? Really, especially when there's all this snow and delays and whatever. Like, I kind of felt like, why does she have to be there at the dress rehearsal? Why is that so important? It's not even the actual event.
Right. As long as she's at the event, then it should be smooth. Right.
Yeah. I was confused by that. Donna Mills plays the mother of the Matthew Davis's character, and she's, a scheming matchmaker. And I think she spread her scheming matchmakerness throughout the old folks' home or whatever where Abby works, because I loved that scene when the old man tries to set her up with Dr. Mike at the beginning. That was so funny to me. And what did we think of Dr. Mike?
Hot.
Yes.
Oh, Dr. Mike. Can we all schedule an appointment?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I liked Dr. Mike a lot. I thought that he was very dreamy and also like a really fun side character. And like a viable option for her, not just a bad man of business. So I appreciated that. That was fun. And and so anyway, so the Donna Mills character basically says, come and decorate for our whole company, because basically they're all in the big house now because they're renovating or rebuilding or whatever the main office. So they've all moved everything temporarily over to the house, and so it all needs to be redecorated to get ready for this gala that they're throwing. And so she decides that she's going to do it, and she talks to her dad about it first. And I mean, basically her dad was sort of an exposition dump character, but I liked him a lot. I thought he was really, really sweet. Her dad.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so then we get to meet her little boy, and this kid, I mean, he was so cute, I thought. Like, just adorable.
Yeah, he was adorable. Oh, when he met Nick, it was cute how he was just kind of like, yeah, you're tall.
And ran away.
I'm afraid of tall people. Shy tall people. That was very cute. And so then we have Kate, who is the what are they calling it? She's
SVP. She's
SVP.
like senior vice president.
Yeah. SVP for the company. Works with I almost said works with Warner.
Nick. Forever Warner.
I know.
We could just call him that.
Yeah, we could. And so she works with him. What did you think of the portrayal of that character? What did you think of Kate?
She was snobby and very rude, and I didn't know where it was going to lead towards the end, but that was clarified at the end of it all. But she made it very easy in the beginning not to like her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. In the beginning, yeah, I wanted to throw darts at her photo, but in the end, it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I don't think anything that she did was particularly wrong. Like, she was just being I hate the whole ice woman of business trope. In these kind of movies that someone's demonized just for working hard and doing a good job. Mm-hmm. And I thought that they actually kind of did a pretty good job of kind of just making her a hard worker. But then she's definitely has moments where she's rude to Abby. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't perfect, but I appreciated it. I felt like there was a little bit of nuance in her character that you don't always see in these type of women in these movies. So I appreciated that. And so they arrive and I was confused because when he opens the door and he sees her, he's like fronted back. He's like, and then she's like shocked to see him. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Like, how did she not know?
Yeah, wasn't she there for an appointment and they were getting ready to do interviews? I don't understand. Yeah, but surprise.
I think she was just surprised that it was the same man that she bumped into who was like grinchy like the night before or something. I think that was the whole aspect of it. Cause like you,
okay,
you who doesn't like Christmas anymore.
Yeah, I think that was just it.
So, what did you think about this whole interview thing that happened? So they give her, I think, a pretty standard interview, to be honest. And she wanted them to look at her portfolio more than they did.
Yeah.
And
she was triggered.
Yeah, she really was triggered. And she, says, I didn't really have a chance at this, and I would have done a really good job for you, and how dare you, and kind of a thing. And so she's very upset. And what did you think about that? Did you buy it, or did you think it was a little much?
It was a bit much. It was so cringy to watch because they didn't really do anything to warrant that kind of reaction. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All right, lady, chill. Chill out.
Yeah.
I basically agree because it was just a standard interview. I mean, maybe when I was in the job hunt years ago, I should have been more proactive. Yeah. You were never going to hire me to begin with.
Yeah, they're calling security. Any other place would have called security.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It was interesting. And I think maybe the best part of the whole thing was when she says, your company all started with a mail clerk that the banker gave a chance to. And, but even as she said that, I was like, I bet the mail clerk didn't say that to the baker.
Yeah.
But I think that's what got to Nick's heart, just because he seemed to have a very he seemed to have a very soft spot for his dad, anything involving his dad. So I think that's why. And so he says he goes and he says, you have a vision and I admire that and I like your spunk.
Yeah.
So I guess that's called nowadays.
Yep.
So yes. So then the next part of the movie for about at least 15 minutes is her trying to get to talk to Nick about what he wants for the design. And at first he gives her 3.5 minutes. And I don't know. I'm not a designer. But do you feel like her requests for his time were reasonable?
I mean, I guess she wanted to do a good job and maybe have like a personal touch to it. But as a designer, she should just kind of know what to do and what not to do. Isn't his mom enough?
Like if I'm
right.
Like he in those 3.5 minutes gave quite a bit of what he liked, and and they have other furniture, other stuff in there, so she should be able to get kind of an idea of like, and here's the architecture of the home, here's what the style of the home. Like I feel like most designers would just be able to show them her sketches and they'd be like, okay, check, check, check. But obviously they needed to find a way to force them to spend more time together. But I was just kind of like, she was just like, I can't do my job without your input. And I'm thinking, I don't think that's true. And so she goes to one of the rehearsals for the play, and Dr. Mike is there with helping his niece. I always like how these hunky guys always have a niece available.
Yeah. Hot uncle alert.
Yeah. And so that was, I enjoyed that. It was great. And I liked that she called him imperious. I mean, she called Nick imperious to her dad. She said, Nick is imperious, which I looked it up. It's assuming power or authority without justification, arrogant and domineering. Which is confusing because literally he just expected to do what he'd hired her to do.
Yes.
So
the definition did not fit.
I don't think it didn't fit. But I appreciated the vocabulary expansion in the movie.
Yeah.
But then, and Dr. Nick, he was really cute too with little Max and getting the candy cane from out of behind his ear.
Oh yeah, that was cute.
That was really cute. I like that. So
Mike through.
And I also was really confused when she's talking to Nick and he says, "Oh, I loved Picasso," or whatever. And she says, "Oh, I'm amazed you knew what Picasso was. All I knew was Lisa Frank." And I'm thinking, you're supposed to be the artist. He's the businessman. You're supposed to be.
First of all, who doesn't know Picasso? And second of all, thank you for the Lisa Frank shout out.
I know. I did like the Lisa Frank shout out. And I mean, I think that most people who become designers and stuff, they
learn.
They would know other ones.
Others. And they really like art growing up and stuff. And, they're really artistic people as opposed to this businessman. That was funny to me, but it was interesting. And so she ends up decorating the house with at least the entryway with 2 Christmas trees and lots of garland up and down the banister. And she finds his old ornaments. And first Kate's like, ugh, why do we have this old ornaments? and then Nick's like, I like this Christmas stuff. It was a nice touch, So he's coming around. He's coming around. And so then we find out that then they have this whole scene because Nick overhears because Kate says, look, you're over your head here. You should just quit. We'll give you a good reference. It'll be great. And so she goes outside, which she might have wanted to wait till she was at least in her car to to make this call. She's like bad mouthing her employer. Probably not a good idea. But she's talking to her dad and just saying how that that he won't help her at all, and I keep making all the wrong choices, and very frustrating. And Nick overhears her, and so his Grinchy heart is it grows like one size, and he decides that he's going to help her. And then so then he's going to go shopping with her, and he says, I'm making a very rare exception. And I don't know, I thought all of this was really cute. And I did think that, did you feel like Matthew Davis and Jill Wagner had nice chemistry?
Yeah, ultimately they were cute together. I mean, she brought out a lot of him, like she brought out the Christmas in him, and I thought that was really sweet. So I felt the chemistry. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like Jill Wagner, she did a lot, and she did good.
Yeah. And so yeah, I like this whole shopping sequence. And he says, I bet you're one of those people who start playing Christmas music before Halloween, which was really funny.
That was so funny.
Yeah. The movie's airing before Halloween.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. It was like, I wonder if they knew that when they put in that line, if they already knew, or if it was just luck. But yeah, I mean, and she is pretty over the top. She sees that china, and she's like waxing poetic about the person who ate it on their Christmas dinner and whatever. and he's like, okay.
A bit much.
He's like, that's mismatching china. I don't think Kate would like that at all.
Yeah.
And so he says, she says, have you always been so grinchy, or are you just trying to antagonize me? And then it was so cute. I loved it. He says, well, all the Who's down in Whoville.
Yeah, that was really cute.
It was so cute.
His joke.
Yeah, his joke. He told a joke. I thought that was so cute. I loved that. And then there's this whole thing about she sees this table, and she has this vision of it being used in the gala, which she is not currently planning, but she thinks it should have gingerbread on top, and that it'll be the best table in the whole world. And so he decides that he is going to get her to plan the gala, and to work with Walter, who was the best. I loved Walter.
Oh yeah, Walter was great.
He reminded me of Bruno from Dancing with the Stars. He is ready to judge.
Yeah, he really is. He seemed like he should be one of the judges on that new Hallmark cookie show. He should be Walter. Yeah. So then this is where they break the oath of the mistletoe, when they're just about to buy the table, which I think that it's very risky for a commercial establishment to have mistletoe. I wouldn't recommend it.
Everyone's going to be kissing.
I know. And it could lead to some awkwardness. Like, what if you have two employees, maybe married to other people, that all of a sudden are working and they're underneath the mistletoe?
The rules are the rules.
Yeah. In the world of Me Too, I don't think having corporate mistletoe is a good idea. I think it's bad.
I'm surprised it's not banned.
I know.
Not in the Hallmark world. That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, he should have just kissed her on the cheek. Come on, or even her hand or something. What?
Yeah, something, Warner.
That could have been cute if he had like really cute kissed her hand. Like, that would have been adorable. Something. He just walks away.
Yes. Be a gentleman.
That was very disappointing.
I want to get #MeToo'd.
I guess, yeah. I mean, he's her boss. I guess that's true. So then, she had also seen this Nutcracker in the store that she really liked. And so Nick leaves, and then and then he ends up sending her the Nutcracker from the store in a box. That was cute.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
And I think this is around when she first tells her dad that they've had all these eye contacting moments, which I loved. Yeah. Like the best phrase ever.
Yeah. Eye
contacting moments. So that's gonna be one of my new phrases, I think, for Hallmark movies. They had an eye contacting moment. And so then there's this big cookie decorating party at the senior center, I think. But anyways, cookie decorating party. And that's when she meets with Walter. And he is just the best and hilarious. And I was a little bit confused, though, because shouldn't this just be past hors d'oeuvres? There's like dancing. It's like late. It's a gala. But like then the meal that he showed was very like, sit down. We're going to have turkey, goose, and because Americans evidently think pork is fancy, then you're going to have ham. And so I was kind of like, what is this food? I guess there's going to be some kind of buffet or something. So I didn't know how quite the mechanics that Walter was working under here for the food. But
he just wanted everything.
Yeah.
There's a whole cute scene where she ends up doing a cookie repair on the cookie, and Dr. Mike is like, you need to save the cookie, and that was cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was really cute.
And especially
anything for Dr. Mike.
Yeah. And especially because you could see Nick the whole time like side-eyeing him the whole time. Like, I liked Nick when he was jealous.
He was sizing up the competition.
Yeah. Nick jealous was my favorite. It was good. And
same.
Yeah. And that's when also Nick says, have you ever made a gingerbread house, Kate? She's like, no. Why would I do that? And then they have this whole scene in the boathouse where they have another eye contacting moment. And it's when she first hears his story about these carolers that came in Nantucket in this special memory that he has of his dad. And another near kiss, another eye contacting moment in the boathouse. And
right, yeah.
And then her dad says, you have so much of your heart to share. I think it's time for you to get back out there. And so that's when she goes to talk to Dr. Mike. And she says, Dr. Mike, do you still eat? That was funny.
So cute.
Like, yes, I think I do. And so, yeah. And so she ends up snowed in. The painters can't come. So they're all trying to get everything done, and he ends up rolling up his sleeves, and he's like, I can tell when there's work that needs to be done. I thought that was really cute. And this is when she's all really worried about making the rehearsal for the play, the pageant, which again, I was just kind of like, it's a high maintenance kid here. She gets a little pine needle in her hair, and he kind of leans up. They get another eye contacting moment, but I thought that was so cute when he's like taking the pine needle out of her hair.
Yeah, it was very cute.
Yeah, I love it in these movies when they give like little times throughout the movie, little times for them to sort of touch in just like little ways, and it really helps build the chemistry. So by the time they actually do get together, you're like really feeling it. It goes to the Aurora Borealis, which is a pop-up restaurant, I guess, evidently. Yeah, and
yes.
And this was one of my favorites whole sequences in the movie. First of all, when Walter says to Nick, she was going on her date, and Nick's like, date? It's like, yeah, that thing where two people spend time getting to know each other. And the doctor of hers is taken to Aurora Borealis. And I don't know. I just thought that this whole thing was so funny and so cute so he's like to Kate, he's like, we gotta go to dinner. And so then they show up at the restaurant. And as soon as they get there, you can tell that Kate's like, oh my gosh, what are they?
I know. And like, let's say hi.
And I feel like there was like a noticeable change in her character from like that point on. When I mean, she does get mad at him at a certain point, but she's still, I don't know. I just felt like there was something different about her, where she's sort of aware now of what is happening, and she's like, I can't believe you took me to go and break up this date with Abby. I don't know. It was really funny to me. And then what's up with Dr. Mike, where he's like, hey, come sit with us.
I know. I'd be like, Leah.
He's too nice.
Yeah, that was
what a man.
It was so funny to me. I loved it. And so then there's this awkward double date all of a sudden. And so and they're both like having this battle of who can't compliment her the most, and
so awkward.
And Kate invites Dr. Mike to the gala, and so anyway, he's gonna be there, and I just thought that whole sequence was really fun. And then we get this whole sequence where they have to pick out the band. And so Donna Mills has to maneuver everything to try to get it so that it's Abby and Nick that are picking out the band. And I mean the band, we didn't really get to hear them that much. They just seem like kind of an odd they seem like kind of an odd fit for a gala, but whatever. And then we get them dancing though, and that was really cute. I liked that a lot.
That was a really cute moment. It was probably my favorite moment.
Mm-hmm. But he says that 12 Days of Christmas is his favorite song. And
like the worst.
I mean, I hate to I mean, if any listeners,
Destiny Style verse is his favorite.
I mean, in my opinion, the 12 Days of Christmas is the drinking song of Christmas songs, because it's just like 99 bottles of beer on the wall, but it's Christmas.
Right.
12 Days of Christmas. Yeah, another round on the 11th day of Christmas. I'm like, oh my gosh! By the end, you're like, I never want to hear another song again. It's a total earworm. It's the worst. I'm like, that's nobody's favorite. It's probably a lot of people listening's favorite. And if it is, please put in the comment section why you like 12 Days of Christmas.
And is Destiny's Child version the best one? It's actually the worst.
Right. That's right. And so then he says, I can't believe you're going to see Santa without me. He's very upset. But Kate is very mad about it. And there's this whole merger and everything like that. They throw out a lot of businessy words, kind of going on here. And then they find out that, they're backing out of the merger because, you don't really care about our company enough this is this is quite the businessman here, that he's willing to forgo a major merger just because this person who's evidently been very involved up until this point misses one phone call, which he gives to his very competent, very involved senior VP. We're like, what? It was a little much, but whatever. It was kind of funny, but he's really upset. He's like, I can't believe that you distracted me from all of this other stuff, and all these people are going to lose their jobs, and I'm sorry, but you're just a distraction. Were you really mad at him when he did that? When he said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get to the we see the Christmas pageant, which was so cute. And
it was adorable.
And we see her showing the house, and she's made this whole corner of his office with the hat from the Carolers and the program or something like that of the Carolers, and this whole thing. And he's like, I can't believe you remembered. That was really cute. And then they show up then there's the gala. And this was actually my major critique of this movie. Why is she wearing a black dress at the Christmas gala? I guess it's just fashion episode.
So pretty. Yeah.
She looked really pretty, but it should have been red or green or blue. I will allow blue.
Yeah, like a dark green or a dark red.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
It was weird. Why was it black dress? I mean,
I know.
even a metallic. I'll allow a metallic, a silver, a gold, whatever.
Yes, any of those colors would have been great.
A black dress. I was horrified. I don't understand why they made that choice. It was so weird. And so basically, Kate ends up telling Walter that she's going to make a big proposal because the merger ends up getting saved. She's like, this is my perfect time to make a big proposal. And the thing is that no human being in the history of the world would ever describe asking for a raise as a I'm going to make a proposal. Like, they would never describe it that way. It was done purely in order to make this this confusion for the, and I'm not saying they didn't like it, but it was very false. It was very phony. But just from hearing that, Abby leaves, storms out. And the thing about it is that, like, her dad says, oh, you need to make a grand gesture. And I'm like, what has Nick done? Nick has done nothing. I mean,
nothing at all.
Like, you could go back way to your distraction thing, I guess. But I have a feeling that Kate proposing and asking for a raise is supposedly something that he's done wrong, when he hasn't done anything wrong.
Nothing at all.
If she hadn't stormed off, then she's the one that did something technically wrong. She judged him and stormed off and didn't let him explain what was happening. And so that was weird to me. Like, why on earth would he need a grand gesture? Just him coming, just him coming to her house. That's a grand gesture.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, like, it was a weird element too, because grand gestures had not been a thing in the movie. It's not like that was, because, in something like Say Anything, which is the ultimate grand gesture in a romantic comedy, that's a theme of the movie, is grand gestures. They talk about multiple times. And so that was weird. And he ends up bringing this string quartet. She's in her pajamas, and they have their cute little moment, which I did really like. It was really good when, he says, I am here because I can't imagine spending Christmas without you. And I just love, this is so cheesy, but I just loved it when he's like, I am that someone. It's like, I had this all wrong, and there is so much more to life than work. It was so romantic, and it was so funny to me because the Christmas movie Christmas on Up TV, which was brilliant, they showed this mock clip of basically a Hallmark Christmas movie, and the ending was almost exactly the same of this fake movie. It was so funny.
Oh my goodness.
The actor's like, I want to be that man for you. I just was laughing. It's almost exactly the same as this speech, which was so funny. Anyway.
You're like, I just saw this.
I know. And he says, yep. He says, you asked what I want for Christmas, and that's you. I want to be with you. It was so good. It was really good. And so there we go. That's the movie. And so, how many crowns would you give Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses?
I would give it a 3.5.
Great. And I'll give it a solid 4. I really enjoyed it, even though I was kind of nitpicking it. It was more just for funny.
Yeah.
I did think they had good chemistry, and I thought that the kid was super cute, and I liked her dad, and I liked Dr. Mike, and I even thought that the Kate was a decent character for the role. I liked that it wasn't a whole movie about planning a party, which is what I was worried about when I saw the clip this summer. It's like, oh, it's boring. So that was good. And so, yeah, I enjoyed it, even though it had its ridiculous parts.
Also gives it a 3.5.
Okay, great. So 3.5 from both of you, 4 from me.
Yeah.
And I admitted I might be a little bit more generous just because it was the first. And I love these movies. We have some comments from our patrons about these two movies. The first is from Colleen. I really liked Jill and Matthew together. They had good chemistry and a new child actor, at least to me. He was adorable. Still have to watch the other one yet. So Caroline says that Christmas Wishes, Mistletoe Kisses was my favorite. I love Jill and Matthew's chemistry. Max stole the show when he showed up in his little tux, though. Yeah, he was so cute, that little boy. So Lisa says, only watched Christmas Wishes, Mistletoe Kisses, and I thought it was cute until the end, and that kind of fell flat for me. So Scott, he says, for Merry Christmas Match, I shopped eBay. I advanced 5 levels on one of my matching game apps, and I filed away emails in my inbox. I didn't plan to do these things, but I got bored, so I got productive. So Scott also says, I thought Christmas Wishes, Mistletoe Kisses was a good movie to start out with. It was fine, but I don't think it will make my top 10 for this Christmas season. And then Laura, she says, I only watched Christmas Wishes, Mistletoe Kisses, and I really enjoyed it. Jill and Matt had good chemistry. So there we go. That's my thoughts on it. And thank you so much, you guys, for being willing to come on the podcast. I really appreciate it. It's always so much fun to talk with you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. And I love your guys' posts. They always make me laugh. So
thank you.
Yeah. So where can people find you online and all that? Your what you do?
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Hunks of Hallmark.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So make sure to check that out. And make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over social media and on iTunes and YouTube. And if you're listening on iTunes, please give us your ratings and reviews. And if you're listening on YouTube, if you can give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, we sure appreciate that as well. And so thank you very much, you guys. And we'll look forward to next week. And have a great Halloween and a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
Halloween.
Christmas.